Shane Hollander as a character interests me a lot. Obviously, there's the undiagnosed autism that seems to pepper a lot of his characterization, despite the fact that he wasn't necessarily written to be so, according to Reed herself. Then there's his internalized homophobia, one probably attained from the toxic culture enshrined in the NHL, and one maybe reinforced by his position as an Asian Canadian. I've seen some appreciation for the show for its exploration of Shane's identity as an Asian man in the predominantly white field of professional hockey. The first episode, in particular, were where I saw the most of this, the commentators specifically mentioning his intelligence.
First, you've got Ottawa's own Shane Hollander. From everything we've seen and heard, he may not be the most sociable, but this is the kid with the highest hockey IQ out there.
Incredibly smart, incredibly dedicated to the game, and incredibly fast.
The Metros guy explicitly mentioning his race.
Oh, and just to be clear, we are thrilled that Shane is Asian or Asian Canadian. Very thrilled. I mean, we've historically broken barriers, and we're doing it again, so nothing to worry about there.
Yuna emphasizing how important Shane's position is, what it means.
This is a lot of money, Shane, and you're the youngest hockey player they've ever signed to a deal. And remember what else this means.
I remember.
A whole lot of kids are going to be looking up to you. Kids that don't see themselves here a lot.
I get it, Mom.
None of these things were ever mentioned in the books, so it is nice to see it being given more consideration, especially when thinking about how this could potentially affect the story of Season 2. From these scenes, we can kind of see that Shane is being placed into the position of a token. As a capital A Asian person in this very public-facing job in a white-dominated field, he has this pressure placed upon him to represent not only himself as a person, but also his people. The myth of the model minority is one that states that Asians are exceptional, smarter, more talented, a myth that is used to downplay the effects that racism and discrimination has against the community. It's also used to separate Asians, not only from the white majority, but also from other people of color. In Shane's case, it means that he must be great, but that he can never step out of line. He can't stand out, can't be different, can't be other, more other than he already is. Shane coming out as gay wouldn't just be him, one person coming out as gay. It would be him, representation of the Asian community, coming out as gay. It's why Yuna apologizing to Shane at the end of the show is so important. She, obviously, in this case, was only used as a kind of representation. Take a shot every time I say that word. Don't do it. Of the pressure being put on him. She was used in the show to show the audience that to Shane, it's more than just about him. But also, she's his mother, someone who should be there to support him, no matter what other people may think about his sexuality. It obviously shouldn't matter what other people think about his sexuality, but Shane does care. And that, I think, is what was missing from the long game. Shane's hesitation to come out is only really explained through the lens of him being afraid of losing his career. Though granted, it is a career he is extremely passionate about and loves. We never got to see how that outside perception, that pressure to be the perfect representation affects him. How other people's expectations would give him pause to fulfill his own wants or needs. It probably doesn't help that the feminization of Asian men is already a pretty common thing in media. Being called pretty boy on a hyper-masculine sports environment is definitely more an insult than it is a compliment, and for people to call him gay as an insult and that being correct would only add fuel to the fire. We don't even get to see a lot of the shame that Shane clearly feels about being gay, something that was shown in Heated Rivalry. Ilya is not ashamed of being bi. Has never been ashamed, he says. But Shane is different. He clearly internalized a lot of the shit he heard in the locker rooms or from chirps. He feels guilty for being gay, but nowhere is that mentioned for why he doesn't want to come out. Shane's position as an Asian person placed in a pedestal, a model, an example of what the Asian person should be, his own shame and guilt for his identity as a gay man, his fear of what the reveal of his sexuality and his relationship with Ilya could do to his other relationships with the people he cares about, relationships that were almost immediately broken from the reveal, by the way. Any of these things would be good reason for Shane to not want to come out, but it's only boiled down to him not wanting to lose his career. He was an asshole during this conversation. I'm not defending that. But for that conversation to go the way it went, I don't know. It's no wonder so many people end up disliking Shane. They don't get to see any of Shane's vulnerabilities. Even the people who do see him more sympathetically tend to chalk up his behavior to his unconfirmed ED, which, if true, really is only one aspect as to why he was struggling. His autism probably didn't help. He thought they had agreed to a plan. Ilya being so angry and wanting to change that plan obviously made Shane angry and confused in turn. It's just a mess. Not one that is Ilya's fault either. I swear to God, if that's people's conclusion after watching this video, I will cry. The book spells out to you exactly why Ilya is distressed, how Shane was not necessarily the only one in the wrong for that fight, and how they both needed to communicate to solve the problem. They are both struggling through an impossible situation, placed upon them because of societal constraints and its worship of heterosexual hegemony, not because of each other. Galina is literally there to spell out everything for you. Please, just listen to Galina. I'm not making this video to say that I hate the books, by the way. I genuinely enjoyed the books. Tough Guy is my favorite. I really want to see Ryan and Fabian on screen, mostly because I want to know what the fuck Fabian does on stage. Please, season 2, give me a shot, a glimpse of what the fuck this means. That's all I want. And also, probably Ryan finding out about Ilya and Shane's relationship. That would be funny as fuck. Anyway, I can criticize these books and still say that I enjoy a lot of what it had to offer. I can say that Reed fell into using some very exoticizing stereotypes when creating Shane and still like the character she created. When people criticize the books, especially when comparing it to the show, I feel like they like to discount a lot of Reed's contributions to making these characters what they are, their dynamic, their relationship, when a lot of it really is from her. I'm looking forward to the next season. It would be interesting to see how the show further explores Shane's identity, considering the changes that were made in season 1. Maybe I'm being too optimistic. The changes that were made were pretty subtle. So subtle that I think it might have went over a few people's heads. And I'm not sure how much they would choose to deviate from the source material. I'm keeping my expectations on medium. I think if they show me something of Fabian and Ryan, I would be happy. If they show me Ryan talking to his dick like it's a misbehaving puppy, I'd be ecstatic. Read Tough Guy. It's the funniest book in the series. That's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. I'm also hoping to make a video on the stereotypes that Reed maybe unconsciously used in describing Shane in the books, so if you'd like to see that, maybe consider subscribing.